So welcome back, everyone. We are here for episode 6 of The Witches. Yay! Now I'm joined in the studio today with Emilie Biggar. Welcome back, Em.
Morning.
And we don't have Belle at the moment because she's just taking some time out. And we have a lovely guest today. We have the wonderful Nicky Barry. Welcome, Nicky.
Oh, thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit about your background in comedy. When did you get started? How long have you been doing it?
I did raw comedy when I was 45 on a dare from a bunch of friends, and then I didn't do anything for a couple of years, and then I decided that I really did want to try and do comedy, so I came back and I did raw again. I'm going to say 3 years later probably. So I started comedy when I was 48.
Yeah, wow.
Which makes it really easy for a woman to like get into the scene. Like that is the optimum time. Like you just sit back until you're like, you know, middle-aged and then fucking watch rooms lap you up. Yeah. So simple.
I love that you got roped into a dare.
Yeah.
Well, I'd always wanted to do comedy from I was one of those people at school. I actually had a seat outside the principal's office pretty much with my name on it. Right. And I was the class clown. And so I had always wanted to do comedy, but I just never got round to doing it. And also, Emilie, you will know, like I got married really quite young and had kids. And you know how easy it is to do comedy when you've got kids also, right? Like walk in the park.
It's like the travelling circus for me.
It really is. Yeah,
oh my goodness. Mm-hmm. But the kids get free food. So, you know, because they get so loved being at a gig.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, your mother neglects you. She's a comedian. You're going to grow up fucked. So and we can't do anything about that, but have some chicken nuggets. Yeah, good.
The kids used to walk around with hats and put money in it.
Beggars.
Good training for future life, yeah. Especially if they choose to work in the arts as well.
Yeah.
Like, fucking somebody, give me something. Yeah, lovely.
That's great. We love child exploitation.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. So I first saw you perform at Raise the Bar, I believe.
Oh, yes, probably,
yeah, I think you were emceeing one night and I could not stop laughing. I was so blown away by your story about your trip to Tasmania with a girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. And you know what? That is completely true. Like this is the thing, you know, sometimes in comedy we take something and embellish it, or we might create something complete. That story is 100% true. Apart from the bag of oranges. But, you know.
She had to smuggle.
Well, I didn't. I got my friend to do it. Well, sorry, she volunteered because she's done it heaps of times and still does. Love you.
Today's episode is focusing on a witch is old.
Oh, why did you ask me all this one?
You're like,
fuck you.
It's okay.
I'm still 35, everyone. God.
I think this is really something that I'm noticing as I get older is this disregard by society when you're no longer able to serve that purpose of being reproductive or of, you know, bearing children.
Hot and fuckable in the in the traditional set. Yeah.
Em doesn't understand that. She's still hot and fuckable. But
totally. Completely.
Hardly.
But for those of us that aren't, so I recently turned 35.
Oh, fuck off. Fuck off. No, love you.
Thank you. I literally have a geriatric vagina now. Like my vagina is considered geriatric.
Wow, is it going to bingo? Like, what's it doing?
I don't know.
PAW.
She's got a lot of grey hair.
She wants soup. Yeah. That's it. Soft foods only.
She wants to wrap up in a warm blankie and just, you know,
retire.
Yeah.
Retire.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've got an old pussy. I was like,
oh no.
35 is so young. Like she's still got so much life in her, I thought, but
like mine still listens to Triple J. Going on with yours. Anyway, whatever.
When we look at ageism and I guess the history of that with witchcraft, it can go back to one of the very first recordings we have of witches where Reginald Scott, who was a famous witch hunter in the Middle Ages in Europe, he is quoted as saying, and he had this in a book, so women that are witches are commonly old, lame, bleary-eyed, pale, foul, and full of wrinkles, like wrinkles. She's usually very poor, sullen, outspoken.
God, I feel seen. It's my Tinder profile.
Imagine being proud to be a witch hunter.
Yeah. It's such a douchebaggery thing, isn't it?
It's
like, so So, Nikki, do you want to pick one of the lovely cards and tell us what's inside it? And I will give you some information about it.
All right. Oh, where do we go with? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pick. Okay, so for the people listening at home, these cards are coloured, and you're usually drawn to like your favourite colours. But I'm going to go with my least favourite colour of the colours. So I'm going to go yellow. Read into that what you will, people. Okay. All right. So here's a person.
Now, do you know who this is?
Not immediately, no.
No.
Her name is Fiami Naomi Matafa. She was the Prime Minister of Samoa. She recently faced a really gendered and sexist attack from her opposition party because they were saying that she is too old to essentially rule Samoa.
They're like sad to see that, you know, they're picking on her for age, yet Biden was like standing up on the podium with like, what, dementia or something, and couldn't even collect himself together to make a speech.
Yeah.
Well, and his replacement's not doing any fucking better. Let's face it. Like, come on. I know. Oh, so what crime was she guilty of, like being over 60 or something? I mean, obviously they should be tying her to a stake and burning her, but like, seriously?
She was attacked in Parliament by a male MP who said her leadership would have been remarkable if she had gotten married, had someone to advise her.
Oh.
Yeah. So in 2021, she was elected Prime Minister after defeating the previous ruler, who was there for 22 years and was a cishet dude. Her father was actually Samoa's first Prime Minister.
So is he forgetting that, like, she has been advised? It, like, runs in a family. Like, very well-known politicians.
Yeah.
And also, why the fuck does she need a man to advise her? Like, can we just come back to that?
Yeah. And she's only the second female leader of an independent Pacific Island nation in history. You see this everywhere. Like, you see it with, you know, when Julia Gillard was
absolutely
Prime Minister, you know, it's like, well, she wasn't married, she didn't have kids, therefore what is her worth? And unfortunately, it's just the reality of it. Like, we're in a world where we have old white dudes that are telling everyone how to run the world, and they're doing a fucking shit job, but an older woman steps into that role and they're like, oh no, you don't know what you're doing, what you're saying, you're, you know, go back to...
because you've got ovaries. You're going to fuck it up. Also, can we just talk about the fact that on paper, being married and having children is really bad for women? From an economic perspective, really, really bad. From a career perspective, also really, really bad. You know, health-wise, it can go either way. And plus, you know, you're encumbered for your lifetime in a way that can be really, really challenging. And I'm saying that as the mother of 4 children who was married for nearly 30 years, so stop calling in and complaining. No, but really, on paper, who the fuck would do it? If you turned around and said to men tomorrow, okay, here's a pill, now you can have the babies, how many of them do you think would be fucking doing it?
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah. Scary that back in the day, pregnancy was one of the easiest ways to die. Like, it was, you know, the mortality rate was incredibly high. It is still incredibly high in developed countries like Australia, for instance, but that's because women will get murdered by a domestic partner, most likely. Like, that is the most dangerous period of time for a woman, is when she's pregnant. And yet we see women who don't have kids as lesser, I guess. And it's just, it boggles my mind that you can't win, you know. Just wanted to, I wanted to bring up her because I thought it was really interesting that you see such a public attack in a parliament. She's a legend. Like, this isn't the first time she's had people.
I'm sure,
you know, but she never says anything. She never comes back publicly. She never even acknowledges that it's said. And I think that's, like, on one hand, I'm like, people should call out this guy. But at the same time, I'm like, well, she's not even acknowledging it. So he's got no power over her. Like, she clearly doesn't care. So,
well, also, and, you know, the way to disprove all of his bullshit is to just go forward and be awesome, yeah?
And also, like, I feel his attack on her, it's, like, outdated. It's like, come on, come up with, like, a better threat than that. Like, we know that, like, women are such a threatening presence to men when they're so bold and, you know, powerful.
Yeah.
And men are just like, oh, well, you're weak because you don't have a man around you. It's like, come on. We've heard that so many times before. Can you think of anything better?
Yeah. Yeah. And particularly, like, a dude that was doing it for 22 years. Like, get over it, bro. Like, give up your career. You're done. Like, you're 74. But no, he couldn't let it go. So, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now, do you want to pick another one?
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. All right. Well, now I might go with my favourite colour. Let's do that. Oh, okay. So we've got a few photos here. We've got some women in military uniforms, World War II, I'm guessing, by the outfits. Or are they airline hair? Okay, now we've got someone with fabulous hair. Wow.
Amazing mane.
Oh, and all right, now iconic Kylie in the gold hot pants. Have you seen these pants in real life?
It would be a dream to wear those
They'd
pants.
be tiny though, right? Like she's tiny.
Yeah, like they're barely covering one flap on me, I tell you. Like they're just I don't know what she did with her labia during that shoot, but anyway. She probably has tiny ones because she's Kylie, but anyway.
She probably had tiny ones.
Well, you know, they're probably very neat and whatever. Some TV executive probably got her when she was 14 and said, we're going to make you a star, but you're going to have to trim. I don't know.
Trim your flaps.
Yeah, trim your flaps. Right.
Imagine if Kylie got whiff of us talking about her vagina.
I'm sure she listens to the podcast.
100. Shout out to Kylie Minogue.
Yeah, good on you, Kylie.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod.
So what do you think those three photos have in common?
Oh, they've all had their flaps trimmed.
They've all had labiaplasty. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look, I don't actually know. I'm not making any particular association.
How old do you reckon the women are in those photos?
In their 30s. I think the middle.
No, I think they're younger than that. Like, we've got to remember this is war times, right? Like, yeah, maybe they are 30. I don't know.
Do you reckon like Kylie was like, I don't know, in her like late 20s for that video?
Well, she
Spinning
moved
around.
on. So this is obviously after all of the, you know, dating of Michael Hutchins. This is like hot, sexy. This was her hot, sexy comeback, after she'd
Her
kind of
comeback, and that's important.
Okay, all right. Well, there we go. We're on a bit of a hint with that. Yeah, this is when she kind of returned after everyone thought she was a bit done and dusted after the terrible pop music she made at the beginning of her career.
Yeah.
And she realised that fucking Jason Donovan was a really bad idea.
I was quite young when Kylie had this comeback. And I remember at the time there was all this uproar over how old she was and that, you know, this is inappropriate for someone of her age to be dancing around in hot pants, you know.
Yeah, when she looked like that in fucking hot pants.
I know. I'm like, if I
looked like that in hot pants, I'd be wearing them today.
Yeah, I'd be wearing them everywhere, like one for each labia, you know.
My goodness.
Actually, maybe they were made after out of the offcuts. I don't know. Anyway.
Spray painted gold. And then the other photo there is of Charlie XCX.
Ah, right. Okay.
Yeah. And then the other photo is air hostesses.
Ah, they are hosties.
I thought they were nurses for some reason.
No, it's that uniform. Hosties always get, still now. I've flown Virgin a few times in the last few weeks because my career's going so well. Yeah. Even now, their uniforms are so fugly. Yeah, anyway.
So bad.
So bad.
But they probably had to retire when they were 30, did they?
Yes, they did.
I was like, you should know where I'm going with this one because it was in our show. Yeah, so they're all 32.
Oh, old bags.
Yeah.
God, look at them.
So
look at the decay.
Yeah. So Charlie XCX has actually been in the industry, I think, since she was 14, but she hasn't found a lot of mainstream success until now, and she's 32.
Or conditioner. She hasn't found conditioner.
Yeah.
I can't believe she's 32. She looks way younger than that.
Yeah. And so this is the same age that Kylie Minogue was when she had her comeback where everyone said she was too old, which, I mean, on one hand, you can take it as a positive because it means that we've come so far now that Charlie XCX is so popular and is singing songs for, you know, a newer generation, and people don't bring up her age. Like, they're just, you know, celebrating the fact that she's making great music. So it's good that we've come that far, but also 32 is not old.
But have we come that far? We haven't come that far. Look at most women on television. How many of them still have a natural face? Honestly, even when they're 30, they don't have natural faces anymore.
I've stopped
working in the media industry. So maybe we've come so far in some ways, but also we have not.
We still got a long way to go. In the 1960s, many airlines actually had a policy. You could only be a flight attendant if you're unmarried. An unmarried woman, but you had to retire by the age of 32. Like, you had to retire either as soon as you got married, had a baby, or if that didn't happen, 32. Your career's over.
That is insane.
Mind you, I know there are mature flight attendants now, but honestly, how could you put up with the shit that airline passengers give. Like, imagine going through menopause and being on a fucking plane. Right? I'd be going into the cockpit with a sharp object and fucking tanking the plane just because, that cunt in row 45 had complained again that their tea wasn't hot enough or something. It's like, I'll show you.
I'm such a visualized person. I can see all of this in my head right now. It's already acting out like a movie. You storming up and down the aisle going, well, here's your peanuts then, you fuckhead, and just walking off.
Now, all of you have peanuts. Statistically, this is going to take out at least 10 of you. Yeah. What I'd probably do, honestly, I am a humanitarian, is I'd probably go quietly up to the passengers that I did like and go, you might want to pop your jacket. Just get it out from under the seat. You watched the thing, didn't you? Just get the card out, read again. Just prep, right? Just get ready. Any valuables you really want, pop them in your pocket now.
Now. Just going to take us on a detour.
Yeah. Just push that door open a weeny bit. Watch what happens. I've always wanted to go down the slide. So you know how they have the emergency and it's got there's this. I would just want to do it once,
Yeah, so 32 and our lovely Belle is 32. This slide was in there.
Oh, that's why she's not here, people.
Yeah, she's had to retire.
They fucked her off. She's too old.
Yeah,
she would have been all over that.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
All right. Look, my Virgo is putting them back in order because that's how. All right, let's go. Blick.
Ooh, on the dark side.
The dark side. Here we go. Oh, here's half of somebody's head. Okay. Midsummer.
Ooh, so I know that movie.
That's from a film, which I have not seen. But yes, okay, good.
Okay. In Norway, in Nordic cultures, they have and it was famously in Midsummer. It's called Attestup. And when you reach a certain age, you're considered a burden on society to continue because obviously as you get older, you're collecting more medical conditions and, you're becoming a burden on society. So what they used to do in Nordic cultures is they used to do Attestup and both men and women would voluntarily jump off high ledges and kill themselves.
I did not think that was the thing. I thought that was a skit. Oopsies.
Famously, it was in Midsummer and it was framed as a horror thing of these old people jumping off the cliff face. Yeah, but it was just something they did. And I thought, isn't that interesting that it's not still...
I don't think that was the
Well, if you've been into an aged care facility in Australia in recent times, it's probably something that a lot of the people there would happily embrace, like nice trip out for the day.
Yeah.
Some fresh air,
bungee jumping,
food.
I can imagine going on a bus and taking an excursion to see what your future looks like, and then you get the choice at the end to jump off the cliff or not.
Yeah, no, I reckon I'd jump off the cliff, quite frankly.
Look, I'm not.
I guess the other thing is whether you choose to jump or whether you're pushed, because they're two very different things.
Yes,
I don't think that's necessarily such a bad thing. Like, imagine
Donald
if you
Trump
could just go to the Vatican, all those guys they're still hiding, pop them in a bus. I would drive that bus. I would help them to jump if they. I think there's a place for it. There's definitely a place for it. We're going to start with certain groups of people. I reckon not such a bad idea.
Yeah. And now the only other thing I'll say is that it's up for debate whether it really happened or not. It was in an old Nordic saga.
Yes.
And so, historians are always like, did it really happen? Didn't it? But, why can't we make it happen? I have Donald Trump on that list, Joe Rogan.
Yes, good choices.
Yeah. Who else? Peter Dutton. He can do the Attestup. Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah, Australians would pay good money to watch
Kyle
that.
Sandilands, I'd love to see him doing it too.
It'd be a fight to get him up there. We'll guide him with M&Ms or something.
Yeah, maybe then he'll get the advertising money he's complaining about.
Yeah, good on you, Kyle. That'd be lovely.
Hate him. Okay, which one is next?
Oh, okay. We're going red or orange. Let's see. Let's save red for last. All right. Oh, okay. All right. So what do we have here? Oh, we have some cartoony.
Some, very ugly looking witches.
Folks.
Long nose, pointy ears and chin.
Oh, we've got me at next year's comedy festival.
Beautiful.
Do my show about turning 60. And we've got some medieval people hanging out with masks, I think. Are they masks, their whole thing?
Have you heard the word spinster?
Yeah, have I heard the word spinster?
Like, wait.
It was first said to me at school when I was about 14 and the nuns were concerned that I would become one. Mind you, it's kind of like the pot calling the kettle black, isn't it, really? Sister John. What was up with that? Anyway.
They're like, trust me, you want to get dick. Go and get dick.
Yeah.
So a spinster, which is that photo of the people.
Yeah. Oh, okay. They're spinstrels.
They're spinsters.
Right.
And you'll notice their hats are quite pointy and upwards.
Yes, like a witch. Oh, I see. Getting the connections.
Yeah. So a spinster was a term used to describe women who were marriageable but unmarried.
Oh, the shame.
Yeah. So it originated in the late Middle Ages, describing women who spun wool professionally, but most of them were unmarried. So that's actually where it came from. So spinsters were, I guess, because women did have jobs in the Middle Ages and before that, but spinning became more popular in medieval Europe. It was only done by women, and they would go to these spinning classes or go to spin whatever, they would sit there and they'd chit and they'd chat and they'd gossip and so it actually became associated with a negative thing because all these women are probably sitting together bitching about the men in their lives. And then they get
celebrating the fact that they've got no fucking men in their life. Imagine, and they don't have to suck cock to make a living.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. So then men weaponized the spindle against women because it was seen as a ugly single women that just want to bitch about men and gossip and hang out with other women. That's what they do. So that's where the term spinster came from.
Interesting. I never knew that.
But that's actually a painting from medieval Europe in a manuscript called La Cité du over 600 years ago.
And look how happy they look.
Yeah.
Free.
Yeah.
The lighting's great.
They got cool hats.
Yeah.
They're in colourful outfits.
Yeah, they're wearing great outfits because they've made the cloth and then they've stitched them up because they haven't had to make dinner or console some, ego-driven man. Anyway,
Looks like freedom to me.
Yeah.
They're living their best lives.
They are living their best. Absolutely. They haven't had to cook a beef Wellington to sort out a situation.
But then it's also like that. You've got the legend of Sleeping Beauty where the evil witch made her fall asleep with the spinning wheel. And it's like there was a lot of negative iconography associated with anything where women had freedom or they were earning an income or they were not with men. So the spinning wheel became a very evil or like associated with negative, like misogyny, essentially. It became associated with that. And it was just like, leave it alone. So
disturbed that women just sort of, sit there and they're happily doing what they love doing. But then a man comes in and he's like, oh, hell no.
Yeah.
And it's like just anything, just as much as like a woman cooking like a beef Wellington wrong. Oh, hell no. Like just
a beef Wellington wrong.
I don't think she cooked it wrong. She cooked it very right. She just served it to the wrong people. But
yes, but you do that. But then where have you seen in history where women have done that towards men? Like, walking into like a poker room being like, oh, hell no.
Yeah. What is this? Let's call them pokers.
Yeah, this is dangerous. Like, what are you doing?
Bad. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's the case, like with a lot of these negative
dominating.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very controlling. And that's just, it's still.
Always has been. It's like the reason you're on earth here is because we pushed you out. So, have some respect. I said that to a man once. I was like, you would struggle if there wasn't a woman here. And he got
which comedy room was this in? Which gig? Come on, name it. No, I'm only joking.
And he got so mad at me.
Yeah, of course
he was furious. He like arced up like a dog, like hairs sticking up, and he was like, "That's not true. That's not like just going off his head." And I was calmly sitting there going, like, "No, you would struggle, and we don't need you to survive." And he just lost it.
So by the 1590s, which was the last decade of Elizabeth I's reign, the idea of a witch in England had crystallised as an old, very poor woman, lame or blind in one eye and inclined to lose her temper over personal slights. Her dry, twisted and ageing body was a kind of poison, and she was believed to be able to harm people and animals simply by speaking to them or looking at them.
Once again, feeling seen.
Yeah. But then it's like that comparison of quite often older men that were healers or herbalists were seen as wise men. You know, but if you were an older lady, you were seen as a burden. In my research, one thing that consistently came up is the amount of people who got accused of being a witch because in places where a husband had died or the kids had died or they didn't have kids and the woman inherited the land, this is when they could, they'd get accused of being a witch, so they would get that land taken off them.
Yes.
It's just so sad when you think about it. You know, the fact that they lost so much, like they've probably lost their husbands in war or whatever. And then, you know, they've received this little bit of land or this little bit of what their home, and that's being taken off them. And unfortunately, that's just the reality of it. Like that's just, you know.
Well, let's think about how the law worked then too, you know, because who was the judge, who was the jury,
Correct.
Like there were no women involved in the law at all, in the creation of it or in the deliverance of it. So, yeah.
And you've got these like older men that are the ones that are these witch hunters. These are all older men. These are not younger men. These are older men. The very first kind of book that became the guide for witch hunters was called the Malleus Maleficarum. And it essentially came about because this guy was trying to find witches in this European town. And this one woman in particular spat on him and was telling people, do not go to his sermons. He's full of shit. Like he's just disgusting. And he is known, like he had many records of being kicked out of this place, kicked out of that place because he's a dick, basically. And so then he wrote this book called The Hammer of Witches, essentially. And it's just misogyny. It's misogyny straight up. He felt like he was made a fool by a woman in public. So then he went out of his way then to
get them all.
But that's where a lot of the misogyny came from, was because this one guy wrote this book and he was like, women are witches and this is what they look like. And a lot of the law around them being older or outspoken and things like that comes directly back to that one woman who had the balls to stand up to this guy and say, fuck you. Like, you know, this is just another quote that's talking about older women, I guess. So witches were jealous, vindictive and manipulative. In fact, they had all the characteristics of the evil stepmother and witch of fairy tales. They were blamed for failed crops, miscarriages, mysterious illness and sudden deaths, and scapegoats for all the ills of community. As the embodiment of the stereotypical witch, the aging female was vulnerable to being portrayed as intent on evil, her body and mind decaying, and her lack of fertility made her redundant, undesirable, and easy to dismiss. Now, the other photos you've got now, it's not something that's just in Western culture, obviously. So one of the famous older witches is called Baba Yaga. So she's from Slavic folklore.
Yes.
And she used to have yellow chicken feet and she walked around in a house and she ate children. So Baba Yaga is massive, like in Slavic culture.
Which children would you start with?
Yeah, the worst.
Like, well, you wouldn't start in the northern suburbs. They've all got allergies, you know? Like, you wouldn't be getting a good meal out of a kid from Northcote.
Go to Brighton.
yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, those kids
delicious
steak, fresh sushi. Oh, nom, nom, nom.
The other picture is of Yamamba, which is the Japanese mountain witch. And she was kind of seen as the stereotypical older lady who lived in the forests and lived in the outskirts of town. And she would appear as a kindly old woman offering hospitality to travellers, but then would transform into monstrous figures who attack and devour unsuspecting guests.
Right.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she's just trying to enjoy her time in the nature, you know, in nature and just...
They were there interrupting her.
Yeah. She's like, well,
enough. Yeah, get out of my garden.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's interesting that it doesn't matter which culture you look at, like older women are just persecuted and are basically
seen as being redundant.
Yeah. And then you hardly ever see that when it comes to older men, which is interesting.
You always see like the women being the villains in every like cartoon there is out there. You know, when you list it, like 101 Dalmatians, like that witchy one stealing all the dogs, Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
What that story reminds me of, like offering hospitality and stuff and then wanting to eat the children.
The children, yeah.
Like the list can go on. Snow White, Cinderella, Tangled. Like it's always the woman as the villain.
Well, just think who wrote the books.
Yeah. It's all men. It's all Hans Christian Andersen, Brothers Grimm, you know, because...
And also, why is it the men saving the day?
Because the men wrote the books.
Yeah. True. They're like, and this really handsome, really tall, like sexy guy.
I don't know if you've
in.
read this book called the Bible, but the men wrote that too. And, if ever there was a book that's been used to control women, there it is. Yeah. And to stereotype them, we're all just bleeding whores who are, unclean and going to destroy. Like, yeah, it's the same thing.
I am a bleeding whore right now. But,
you.
It really frustrates me as well because you think of the amount of sexual crimes, the amount of murders, the amount of violent assaults, and the majority of these crimes are committed by men and quite frequently older men. Look at what happened with the Catholic Church. Systemic child abuse occurring there, and it's, it's mainly your older men. It's mainly your older fathers and priests and, it's not the nuns that are doing this. It's not
the nuns aren't completely innocent on that front. And also, no, they're complicit. If you're part of an organisation that is the culture and you sign up and you remain there, you are complicit. You hear all the stuff like there's a site in Ireland at the moment where they've found the remains of thousands of children that were taken into care on a property that was, managed by nuns, like they were meant to be caring for those children. Like, it's just horrific. Anyway, enough of that.
Bad people don't choose a gender, but I think it's interesting that there's so many misconceptions about older women versus older men.
Well, I think there's also so many misconceptions about what is a wrong thing to do, and once again, who's arbitrated right and wrong for so long.
Yeah,
from a legal perspective, the legal systems across the world are still founded by men and controlled by men. Still, very much so. And if you think on the other side of things, if you think of pretty much any religion there is, who founded that and who controls it? And they're still held up as the two main ways that people moralise and judge and make decisions about what's right and wrong. So
Which
there you
is
go.
so interesting because prior to Abrahamic religions, there was such a focus on women being Mother Earth or, the female goddess that gave life to everything. And
but that's witchcraft now.
Yeah, well, that's it. It was considered paganism. So many of the indigenous cultures as well, like the women played a very important part.
And still do when they're able to. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But Abrahamic religions won't let us have that. So, there's that. Okay, and the last envelope.
All red. Here we go. Drum roll. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Dumbledore.
All right. Oh, yeah, one of the people from Harry Potter. I never took any notice, people. And, and this one too.
So she's from Game of Thrones.
Yes. Once again, something I have not watched because fuck that shit. All right.
Yes, me either. I couldn't get into it. I got into the first season. I was like, I don't like this.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a life. Anyway.
So this is more just, I thought about in popular culture where we see witches versus wizards. And you see wizards like Dumbledore, who was this old, wise, very protective kind of fatherly figure. And then the woman in that photo is a character named Melisande, and she's from Game of Thrones. And she portrayed herself as a beautiful young redheaded woman who seduced, whoever. But she actually was a several hundred years old witch. And when she took off that necklace, she became this wrinkled old thing. And the reason that I thought that was really interesting was I remember when the episode came out where it got revealed that she was a witch, where all these people, it was just so much sexism being like, what your woman looks like as a girlfriend versus what she looks like as a wife and stuff like that, And I mean, Game of Thrones, if you watch it, like a lot of the powerful characters were women, but they were also young, beautiful, attractive, there was no older kind of woman character. Well, there was one, but there weren't many that were portrayed as being wise and having power and having status, I'm confused why when an older woman is a witch, but an older man is a wizard and it's seen as a good thing, And
once again, who writes the stories?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's true.
Coming in with the facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's like a really good point. I never really thought to compare it to a wizard. Yeah, Dumbledore being like so warm and friendly and caring, whereas that's like a mother's normal intuition and nature is to be maternal like that.
Well, if you think of like Dumbledore versus Professor McGonagall, who was like the older woman in Harry Potter, I mean, like she's seen as being cold and icy and not very maternal, but I don't think her behavior is that different to his. But for some reason, that's seen as a negative. And she, once again, doesn't have kids. She can turn into a cat. You know, it's a lot of this imagery around what does an older witch look like, you know, and how can we make that come across on screen, which I think just furthers this sexism, this misogyny, this ageism. Like, you know what I was thinking? I want to see an older witch character just fucking dominate. I want to see more of that. We get a lot of movies and stories about older men that are really powerful and strong. And I'm like, where's the other side of that? It's never. They're just like, oh, you've reached a certain age, we can't put you on screen.
Where it hasn't really been reclaimed is Hollywood, because in Hollywood, case in point, I saw a magazine cover recently of Jane Fonda. All power to her. She's 80 whatever. You know, she's out there doing all sorts of things still. But oh my goodness, you know, her face is so puffy and enhanced and all these other things. And it's kind of like, how is this a great message to women your own age that are like seeing you or picking up this thing, right? Because, okay, as an actress, I could probably take or leave Jane Fonda, quite frankly. But, you know, she's maintained a career in Hollywood for 60-something, like good on her. And she's done a number of other kind of interesting things along the way. But now, you know, she's going out there and she's talking about, you know, being older and like having an amazing life and all that sort of stuff. But it's like, where is your life on your face, Jane? It's fucked off. You know? I mainly watch films from, you know, other parts of the world because I'm that cunt.
Because you're so woke.
Yeah. I love a subtitle. Gets me hot. But, you know, you do see like older women in movies from other parts of the world actually looking like themselves and being themselves and actually, you know, doing all sorts of things with their lives, not just being, you know, the frail person who is the burden or the one that's spied out through the Venetian blinds and seen the guy getting killed or being the demented one is also a character that's becoming more and more prevalent. Yes, dementia is a thing, but even the way dementia is being portrayed on film for the most part is very stereotypical and it's not helpful.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
There is this TV show I used to watch called Emilie in Paris, and her boss.
Yes.
You know her boss? Yep. I just love her. No Botox, nothing. Completely like herself, and she's so fucking sexy. I just fell
of course
in love
she
with
is.
her. Like the way she wears her dresses, you know, see her boobs, and she's just very French and very like into her sexuality, and I just love how they played that character.
Yeah.
Like that's what we need to see more of as well.
Yeah. And I think, I mean, back to Jane Fonda, she did that show recently called Grace and Frankie. And I think a lot of that was about sexuality at an older age.
Yes, yeah.
Fun fact, I have heard that nursing homes are just like worse than colleges, you know, in terms of everyone sleeping with each other.
They are. Yeah. STIs in nursing homes is a real issue. And also, of course, is stuff around consent, because guess what? Men who are 80, for the most part, didn't have to concern themselves
with consent.
That. Well, especially if they were married guys, right? Because that issue around like consent in long-term relationships is a very complex thing, really, when you examine it.
Yes.
And so they didn't, you know, because women were raised to believe that, well, if your husband wants a root, you better root him because that's your job.
Yeah.
You know, and so it's not about your pleasure. It's also not about if you want to. It's kind of your duty sort of thing. The same story wasn't necessarily given to young men as they were growing up. So that whole issue about consent, and also because you're dealing with people where their capacity to give consent is often complicated by, you know, cognitive decline or medications and other things. So they almost need some sort of sex education program for people in residential aged care, which would be, imagine getting that gig. That would be so cool. But it is a thing. And even in retirement villages, like my mum lives in a retirement village, and they signal, if you want to signal that you're up for it in the retirement village, you put your bins out, not on bin night. That's just
my God.
So if you're not getting any at the moment, you know, I don't know what your street's like. When I live in an apartment building now, so I don't have to put my bins out at all. It's just there. But like when I lived in Coburg forever, like if you know, there was always that neighbour that if you put your bin out on the wrong night, they'd be
grumpy,
like leaving a note or like,
and you'd be like, I'm just horny.
Who knew? It's like someone come and fuck me.
I need to start putting my bins away. I didn't know that.
She's leaving them there for weeks at a time, wondering why all those single dads from childcare are just popping over. It's a thing. Well, my dad died very recently. Ha ha, joke time. And my mum is swimming in potential dick now at her residential, at her
like so
retirement
many
home.
options.
No, well, hang on. Owns the unit. She's got a big one, right? 2-bedroom. Still drives, still continent. Like that is like the bucket list ticked.
Yeah. She's like now or never.
Yeah.
Well, no, she's not. But like 5 or 6 single men from their retirement village turned up to my dad's funeral, mate. They were like,
They were like, got to get in now, you know.
My brother and I were like, oh, let's choose our new daddy. Let's go for one with the most money and the most comorbidities. No.
How are men still getting it up in their 80s?
They're not. They're not getting it up in their 50s, darling. Let me talk. Honestly, I could talk in so many scenarios. And they're also talk about being threatened. I had a man, you know, in my home recently where I thought, you know, like
you left your bins out.
I'd pop them out. I'd been loitering near them, but
loitering near them.
Got a net out.
Just this one. But, you know, and he was like, oh, I don't know if I can get an erection. And I was like, dude, I've got 4 in the drawer. Like, you know.
Go nuts, buddy.
It's like, better, really. There are other things you can do. And most of those involve you being quiet, which I quite also enjoy. You know, I've got something that will keep you busy. Like just... No?
Oh, I love that. And now like it just keeps taking me back to the nursing home. I'm just like, you know.
No, don't go there looking for them though.
No.
Definitely probably not.
But like, don't they have like, you know, CCTV throughout the nursing home and like, aren't they watching?
Yeah, they are watching Emilie the sick fuckers. What do you think the people on night duty are doing? Imagine having to be there overnight. You're just like,
Jeff's out again. Just seeing him like slowly going down the hall
with this like walker. I'm gonna get some.
Now we're being ageist, people.
Sorry.
We're seriously being
I'm
ageist.
just imagining a horny old dude trying to get.
Yeah. Like, you know, does he have his like baby oil in his back pocket and a bag of pills? Like, come on, Jenny, I'm coming for you.
I'm coming.
Oh, you got to take the blue ones a while before. Just a heads up.
Yeah. It's like an hour before.
It's not a fail-proof system.
No.
But, you know, what a great way. Like, also, if they take too many, they can die, which is not... He died doing what he loved almost. Like, it's better than the cliff. You know,
it's
that's the other option.
It's
like, oh, I got a boner again, yay, and then he dies. And scene. Like that's
insane. I mean, that's the way. Like, honestly, if you're going to go one way, like, I wouldn't mind dying in sex. Like, as long as I came, I wouldn't want to die before I came. You know,
no, you've done that enough while you're alive.
Exactly. Like, if I'm going to go out with a good old big, you know, I can squirt if that's what, you know.
Yeah, something to get your heart racing.
Well, it'll make the coffin lighter, won't it? It's like, there's 2 kilos less we have to carry. She died with a flat stomach. No.
So skinny.
So important. You know, it could have been buried in a bikini. Oh, what an achievement. Yeah.
You know what? Speaking of being buried, did you know that they bury women in their bras?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I want my norks up. I don't want them under my armpits. They'll have to widen my coffin if they don't. Yeah. That's why, you got to think about the proportions of what you're going into. It's important.
It's important.
It's really, I have to think about this a lot now. I'm turning 60 in a few weeks, and my social media feed at the moment, you know, the algorithm, it takes over. I'm sure you get this too, you know, different stages in your life, or you've Googled certain things, and then it goes, oh, she's going through a relationship breakup later. So now the algorithm knows I'm turning 60. What? Very soon. And so all I'm getting at the moment, literally this morning I woke up to, the first thing I looked at when I got onto social media was for some sort of thing about how once you hit menopause, your labia disappear, right? Yeah, I know.
Seen that random. Is that true?
Well, I don't know. Like, how often do you check, right? And I've never measured mine, right? So it's like, you know, it's not like when my mum got my baby book. I don't know if you, like, this is probably an old thing. I was born in 1965. Listen up, cunts. But like, you know, your mum kept a baby book and she wrote like all your milestones. There was nothing in there about my flaps, like nothing. Like she just
her flaps measured.
Yeah. What percentile is, like, how's she going?
What's the
Like,
ratio
it
of
doesn't look any
flap to-
different, right?
Not that I can tell, but like now it's a bit of like flexibility is not what it was, right? So I can't yoga pose like I used to with a torch to like,
Yes,
you know, like it's more of a mirror situation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you know, maybe I just need to get those circus mirrors, you know, so it can look, so it looks ginormous.
Like, oh, yeah.
And then there's another one where it's like, oh, it's a weird sort of cone shape. I don't know.
Yeah, apparently we lose something when we hit menopause. Like, our labia goes? Is that right?
Yeah.
What do you mean it goes? A
I
labia
don't know.
just can't go.
No, well, they retract back in.
Oh, they're done with the world. They're like,
Yeah, they're like, no. It's like the flaps on an aeroplane. They're like, no, we've landed. We don't need these anymore.
we're fine, guys.
Yeah. Look, Emilie's Googling it now. It's a whole thing. And so that's my feed, that and like prepaying my funeral. Like they're the two things that are, and incontinence undergarments are the other thing, which I'm not doing that. Fuck it. I'm going to get a seat on the tram every time because I'm going to be damp, you know? Like I'm getting
love
on.
my cushion.
I'm sitting there in my own dampness.
I don't have my labia to cushion me anymore.
No, so I just need a soggy bottom. I'm just there with my soggy bottom, just taking up space. I'm like, is a man going to want to sit on this seat? Good, then. I'm gooing it up first. I'm just like,
It says here, yes, some women may experience a noticeable thinning and shrinking of the labia, including the labia minora as a result of menopause.
so that's why we're grumpy. Really.
I like my cushion. I don't want it to go.
Like your beef curtains.
Well, there's got to be like I read this morning, and then I was there going, is there an exercise? Like, what do I do? Do I put stretches in? Like,
You're like your ears.
because you know when you see, like, it's usually a man who's taking his stretches out, and you're like, oh, that just looks so bad now, like, because it does look like he's got ear flap sort of things going on there. It's like a savage. It's like anyway.
We talked earlier about the fact that a lot of women were accused of being witches because they were seen as a burden on society when they got older, or because someone wanted their property, blah, blah, blah. This is a problem that hasn't gone away. In fact, one of the fastest growing groups to experience homelessness in Australia is women over the age of 55. Yeah, so there's about 31% as of 2011, and now it's sitting closer to 40%. Like, I particularly think of my nana, for instance. She didn't work for so long. Like, she doesn't have super. She doesn't have like a little nest egg. Her husband died, and all of a sudden she's alone, and she's like, well, what do I do? If you don't have family, you don't have a support network, you know, that's when you're most likely to experience homelessness. And unfortunately, older women are becoming this rapidly growing group of people that are now making up the homeless population, which is just fucking depressing.
Yeah, I worked for an organisation called Council on the Ageing for 4.5 years, and this was definitely an issue that women would contact us about all the time. You know, part and parcel with that is, and this is a message to every woman out there, be financially literate. Like, be really financially literate, and do not rely on him to maintain your money, to pay your bills, or to just, you know, tell you that everything's fine. Know what's going on with your money while you are in a relationship, if you are in a relationship, because that's really important too. You know, I also think, well, you know, I'm part of that group potentially as well, you know. And I was married for 30 years. I owned a home with my ex-husband in the finish, but at the same time, and I always worked, but, you know, I raised 4 children. That's an expensive thing to do on an ordinary sort of income. We didn't go without anything, but we didn't have anything spare. And so you don't have savings. You do have way less super. And also, let's just talk about the fact, when you're a woman and you're over 50 and you go for a job interview, you can bet ageism comes in very fucking hard. And if you're out of work for a while, as I have been, and then you're applying to try and get back to work, yes, they can't ask you how old you are anymore, but certainly, you know, when you're presenting your CV and when you're, you know, even if you trim some years off it and whatever else, all the strategies they tell you, it's also that thing, you know, you have to lie just to get a job when you're a highly qualified and experienced person in whatever field you've worked in. And the fact that so many skills that older women do have are termed in HR as soft skills. And once again, it's like, fuck off. No, you think about all the women that hold our community up through volunteering and unpaid care work as well, right? They've got incredible skills. They mightn't be formalised in a particular way, but, you know, if you can sit with someone who's been about to top themselves and, you know, calm them and support them and assist them to, you know, get out of that situation a bit or move on to something. If you're looking after, you know, people who do have dementia, who have intellectual or physical disability, all different sorts of things, you've got a bunch of fucking really great skills. Yeah. And so to call those skills soft because they sit in that feminine space, once again, is not on as far as I'm concerned.
No. You know, you look at some of the highest paid jobs in society, and a lot of them predominantly have masculine workforce, like particularly in Australia, a lot of our builders are protected by CFMEU, you know, and they're making like 2-3 times what our nurses are making, you know, or our teachers are making. And nursing and teaching and more caring kind of community-based roles are predominantly held by women, but they're also not paid anywhere near the same, you know, amount as the more masculine type roles. Yeah, it's absolutely, like, it's depressing when you think about it. Like, one of my best friends, she's a highly qualified nurse, but her husband, who's in finance, earns 3 times what she earns, and she's working around the clock, you know. And,
yes.
And then, you know, when she wants to have a kid, she's then got to take time off. He can keep working, but she's got to take time off. It's the world we live in. So yeah, it's very depressing, but it is what it is. So do you have any gigs coming up? Where can we catch you? You're on the gram.
I am on the gram. I'm called Barry Me Please on the gram. I'm not on the Tickety Tock or any of those other things because, frankly, no, thank you.
You're not doing any of the dances on TikTok?
Oh, fuck no. I could slay on TikTok, I reckon.
You would.
Doing it. But, yeah, me and my flaps would be out there. This week I'm doing a couple of little gigs at Black Sheep in Theory on Thursday night, and then I'm doing Cooper's Friday and Saturday, which is always a great gig to do. Get around that, people. It's also always super fun. I tend to hibernate a little bit in winter. Like, I do bits and pieces of comedy, but I tend to...
I'm probably the same as you. I just like to nest a little, stay warm.
Yeah, I do. And also I think that, I don't know how you folk feel about this, but like I spend a lot of time when I'm not doing comedy engaged in other sorts of arts because I think that fuels me creatively and that. So, you know, like the Melbourne International Film Festival is around the corner. Rising's just been on. Like, you know, there's a whole bunch of other things to do when you live in Melbourne.
Yeah.
But do go out and watch live comedy, people. But before you go and watch live comedy, like, just scrutinise the lineup. And if there's no women on that lineup, don't fucking go, you know. Like, you know, I saw something came up on my feed on Insta in the last couple of days advertising a show called Masters of Comedy, like the language itself, Masters. And then it's like, you know, 5 shows. Each one of the headline acts is a man, like for 5 weeks in a row. Because apparently there are no women or non-binary people in Australia at all who could possibly headline a gig. Isn't that amazing?
It is incredible. Where are they?
Oh, well, you know, there's probably one of them and maybe she's busy. I don't know. I was just like, what the actual fuck? I was so incensed that I had to comment on the post.
Yeah.
I'm that woman now. I'm like, ugh. And now they will be calling me a witch or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like,
and it's so hard. Like I find it, I have to have social media breaks because I too get so frustrated, particularly around International Women's Day. There are a lot of rooms that all of a sudden were like all female lineup. And I'm like, yeah, but for the last 6 months, you haven't had any women on your lineup, or you've had one or two.
Exactly.
You know, but you don't want to call them out because at the same time, these are room runners who can dictate whether you're on or off a stage. And so I've had to be quiet since I got blacklisted from a couple of places. So for speaking up.
I did a gig the other day and I was the only female on the lineup. So when I posted in my stories, I put a song like, "Man, I Feel Like a Woman." And I was like at the front and I was like, back me up, boys.
yeah, and they were all quiet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course they were.
Hashtag let's go girls. Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Nikki.
Oh, thank you. This has been super fun.
Yeah.
I've learned some
It was
things.
amazing.
It's interesting, isn't it? I love researching this stuff, but then I get so depressed and I need to cry for a while because I'm like, oh, why is the world so fun? Just white woman tears, you know?
Yeah.
First world problems.
Yeah, all our listeners in the third world are just going, shut the fuck up, bitches. Stop going on about your flaps.
Well, I hope you have a flaptastic day.
Thank you. Oh, let's start. Oh, that's a good name for a room.
Yeah.
Flaptastic. Oh, that should be a gig. Yes.
Get your flaps out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, a new way to clap. A flap clap. A flap clap the end of every act.
But if you've gone through menopause, your flaps might disappear. So clap with them now.
I am maintaining the flap. Honestly, even if I have to stitch something onto them, like
a cape or something.
yeah, just a
Batman's
frill, you know, a couple of ruffles, something. I'm doing it. It's going to be my new home craft. Actually, I'll spin the fabric first. I'll just be there at home going, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to spin, but I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's fine. It's in your blood. You're a woman.
It is. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. We'll catch you next time for A Witch Is.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.